Joining me to look at how these markets have played out so far is Abiodun Keripe. He's the head of research, investment research at Afrinvest. Abiodun, what's your take on the markets this week?
Oh, thank you, Ken, for having me. This week, starting from Nigeria, yes, we've seen a bit of positive or bullish sentiment. Really kind of tough to underpin or understand what's really driving that sentiment. But we've seen the tier one bank, a few of them that announced interim dividends. They've marked down and they've paid those numbers. We've seen activity mostly from local PFAs, sort of supporting the buy actions we're seeing in the market. Taking it outside of Nigeria and looking at some other West African country, Ghana, for instance, we know they have this election over negative sentiment over the December election, which is hanging on the market and sort of propelling some sort of sell-off. And on the back of the negative sentiment, the impact from the COVID-19 also, that market also is sort of down. But looking at this market again from an economic viewpoint, right? The narrative also is not very interesting. For instance, Nigeria is sort of at the brink of a recession. On Q2 basis, economic output is down a whoop 6.2%. Take Ghana, for instance, economic output also is down by a whooping by 3.2%, for Q2. And this is sort of negative numbers, which really doesn't support a lot of sentiment, positive sentiment for equities. But there seems to be a bit of a divergence when we look at the Nigerian market and how the Nigerian market has sort of performed in the last week, or even in from a month-to-day perspective. Nigerian market is up nearly 3%. Ghana is down nearly 1.4%. The BRVM market also is down about 4% on a month-to-day basis. Nigeria also is still up. If you look at it on a quarter-to-date basis, 6.2%. Ghana is down 3.4%. BRVM is down 2.6%. So even though the economic is not very interesting across this market, but there seems to be a bit of divergence in terms of their performance. In fact, for a Nigerian market where we have a couple of issues from foreign currency, illiquidity, to lower oil prices because of the structure of the economy, the market is still doing quite well. Put in context, Ghana, that is still relatively stronger. In terms of the product the economy has to offer to the rest of the world, Ghana is big. It has gold and cocoa to sort of support its fiscal numbers, while Nigeria just relies mostly on oil. So this sort of tell two stories. The macro numbers look not very impressive, but the performance of how these numbers are reflecting on the equity market is sort of kind of different. That's the big takeaway for me this week, and even from a month-to-date perspective for this market.
All right, but Abiodun, how do you see this picture now, though? Do you see we see this momentum, especially for Nigeria, continue? And but how much do you think that rate cut we saw from the central bank will play here in how the market will play out going forward? And we're also expecting Ghana to make the decision on their MPC as well this week.
So for the Nigerian market, I sort of think we're seeing a mix of bargain hunting and a mix of, should I say, speculative activities or speculative trading. I think in a near-term basis, right? I think the market is still going to take a bit of a sell-off. That is, the Nigerian market will still see they are still sell off at the end of the day. For the rate cuts, I don't expect so much impact on that on the market. The big takeaway for me is the fact that the asymmetric corridor around the MPR was sort of adjusted, and how this affects the standing deposit facility with respect to banks' liquidity and the amount of liquidity the banks would have on their balance sheet, and how well